Good evening everybody and welcome to this Formula 1 League with Raceroom RWB International. Do apologise for the late start with a few technical issues. Well, let's be honest, my PC crashed. Anyway, that aside, we're all now up to speed and we've currently got 8 minutes and 55 seconds left of qualifying as we're just watching Milan there zip around. Slightly different with commentary tonight. We've got two members of RWB International helping me tonight. First of all, of course, our indomitable friend and the amazing talent that is Speed. How are you doing, Speed?
I'm doing excellent, mate. How's yourself on this fine British evening?
Oh, honestly, the heat. Jesus Christ, that is hot today. That is hot. And I'm doing all right. Now I'm calming down after my PC. What a time for a PC to crash, Speed. 1 minute before you're about to start a live stream that people have practiced for 3 months, and there's people waiting to hear and everything else. So I do apologise about that, old boy. Thank you for holding the fort.
Not a problem, mate. It happened to me the other week, didn't it, when it crashed in the middle of the racing. So yeah. It happens. It's our version of mechanical failure. So we just take it on the chin and carry on.
That's right. Yeah, the show must go on. As indeed it went on Thursday when I ended up commentating on my own for the entire event. And I said we were going to do things slightly differently because tonight we've got Gabsy joining us, which is absolutely fantastic. You've all seen Gabsy out there. Just recently had a commanding performance, coming second in one of our league events in the Audi RS3 there. Absolutely wonderful drive by him. And I know that he likes the open wheelers, as of course Speed does. But he's joined us with the commentary and tech team for this league. And he's going to be our trackside. So Gabsy is trackside. He's currently in the channel with everybody, with all the drivers. And he will be feeding us technical information and wider intelligence and wider situational awareness on what's going on. And if we can pick up things that he feeds us or drag him in for a chat or whatever, we can do that. So look out, you may well hear from Gabsy. And that really, Speed, when we've got, 21, 22 runners in this particular league for this race tonight, you know, we really do need, do we not, that sort of wider awareness and just our own camera views and race director.
Yeah, it's effectively like a proper director typing in the background. He's looking at other camera angles, looking at other battles, feeding the information to us via text chats and stuff like that. So it is a very key thing, especially in a league like this, such where there's 21 drivers in the race, and obviously you've got another 6 or 7 that are missing today. So it's very key, especially in high performance cars like this. You need to show off, you know, the true massive amount of field and how good it's going to be.
Yes, for sure. Something I wanted to talk to you, Speed, and that is about these cars. But before I do that, I want to give a shout out to everyone in the YouTube chat who's joined us there. Thank you very much for joining us and for holding out for us. If you've got any questions or queries, and of course we want some feedback from you with regards to the racer of the event for this particular race at Red Bull, at the Red Bull Ring. So please engage with us and let us know. But Speed, I wonder whether we can actually jump into cockpit with somebody. Let's pick someone. We've got 5 minutes left. Let's have a quick zip around and hear your perception on the track, and then maybe you can talk to us about the car.
Let's go on board with Milan. He looks like he's coming across the start-finish line now, so let's jump on board with him. So yeah, going into turn 1, very tricky turn 1. Obviously you want to stay away from the curve on the outside, and yeah,
there's the
exactly
first commentator's curse.
Yeah, first commentator's curse. Obviously you saw that he clipped the inside curve, which is also dangerous. Let's see if we can find someone else. We've got someone else.
We're riding with Tom Weaver. Let's use Tom. Now, Tom, is that Squid Flipper?
I think that may be Squid Flipper. I'm not too sure. Obviously, a lot of people have changed the names to their real names, so it's especially difficult. I know I'm one that uses a different name in Discord to what I use in Raceroom, but everyone knows me. as you know, everyone knows me. There's a lot of names. But yeah, I was
So,
coming out
we've
of
just
turn
gone
one
through
now.
turn one.
Yeah, turn one. Steady, just run down. I know this got renamed turn 2 because of the Moto GP, so you break the underboard for turn 3. Really slow, really awkward, you know, cornering these cars. You just got to get it in there, get it out. You can lose a lot of time, gain very much. So then you're dragging down to this turn 4 corner. Just break for the board is probably the best idea. Just so you can get into the apex. Try and avoid going on that curve because it'll tend to kick the traction control in. Coming back across the right for this really fast left-hand corner. Again for this left-hand corner, really fast. It's just literally lifting off ever so slightly to get the front end tucked in. This is the key: is getting your front end in and using the downforce, especially for this last corner. It's just literally a lift off, downshift through. Second corner, last corner, you come down 2 gears, just trying to not run too far wide, and that was a semi-decent commentated lap of Red Bull Ring, especially in these cars that are going so fast.
Yeah, well done, Speed. I don't know about anyone else, but I've just watched Tom there and thought to myself, crikey, holy moly, he is going some out there. But actually, you know, Tom is smack bang in the middle, so Tom was a great choice for us to use. Tom just done that in a 105.134. Currently, our leader and currently in pole for the race is Milan Rajkovic. We're just going to call him Milan now. And he's just done a 103.759. Is that unbelievably fast speed?
Yeah, that's a quick all lap time. Obviously, I didn't personally do any qualifying runs. I was more helping people out with race runs, so I think that's where you're more going to gain advantage over than one lap pace. But I expected, from what I was seeing, I would expect in them sort of lap times. So it is very representative of a decent pace around here. I expect the true aliens to be, the ones that sweat it, for days and weeks, nothing but this track, thousands of laps. Obviously, they'll probably be in the 102s, probably.
Yes. Great. So 1 minute 40 seconds left remaining of Red Bull of this particular race. Round 1 of what is essentially, I think, 30 or 12 weeks. There's 12 races at different locations. We'll pull that up later on and give you an idea of where they are. So what can I tell you about this circuit? Well, so it's the Red Bull Ring. It's actually named as the Project Spielberg Red Bull Ring. So named after Project Spielberg, which was used in the Styrian region in Austria, my most favourite country in Europe, to bring investment into the local economy in the local area. It's 2.68 miles, 4.31 kilometres. We've got 7 named corners around here, and you'll hear us mention those as we go through the race. And this is an infamous track. It's had several different names before. Some people may well remember it as the A1 Ring and so forth, but this is a true pedigree racing track. Formula 1, superbikes, touring cars, national, international events, Formula 3000 in a day, GT series, blank paint, DTM, historic Formula 1, ADAC GT. Since being opened in 1969, if there is an international series, then I can assure you it has been run from here. And this was actually the home of Formula 1 from 1969 to 1987, but it was dropped at that point due to the lack of track design and the runoffs and the corners being too tight. And the fact of the matter was the cars were far too quick of the time. So there was a huge then sort of restructure, bit of investment into the track and into the local environment. Project Spielberg, named in 2011 as Red Bull Ring, after a huge investment into Project Spielberg by, guess what, Red Bull, to a tune of 484 million. Just think how many cans of Red Bull you could buy for that. And since 2011, the circuit's future, ironically, is now ambiguous. The actual long-term strategic direction of the Red Bull Ring is unknown. Now, clearly the executive committee know exactly where they're going, but that is not public information. In the interim, it still puts on, as I said earlier on, all those wonderful events. And for us in the sim world, this is one of the best mapped circuits, in my view, which of course is with Raceroom. Anything to add, Speed?
Yeah, it's a really unique circuit. Obviously, did have a longer variant in its early days, and it's just a pure joy to drive around. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's set in a beautiful country, good atmosphere, and yeah, it's not got not bad facility in general. From what I've heard from people that visited the track.
Yeah, excellent. So we've got 3 minutes and 30 left of qualifying. Of warm-up, sorry. Now, I think I've asked you this question before, Speed, so forgive me for asking it again, but for those people who are watching on the stream and perhaps haven't had the answer, we've got a 3-minute warm-up left. Is the warm-up going to make any difference to the guys' tyres and the engine and all the rest of it in the simulation before they actually start the race?
No, not at all. It's basically think it like that qualifying happened on a Saturday. Obviously, you've gone to bed, you've come out on a Sunday morning. You're just getting a quick 5-minute practice in the morning, make sure everything's okay, and then you'll have a fresh set of booties, full tank of fuel, and that'll be your race. It's just a way of just checking over the car before you go out to the race later on in the day type thing.
Yeah, excellent. As we watch Zach Etier, Zach is actually the RWB International's main sponsor for this event. It's always very, very nice when the community comes together and helps each other out, and uses the platform that we're providing to promote, quite rightly, a fantastic app that's been created by Zach, which is used as part of setups and so forth. Perhaps, Speed, in the last minute or so, you could give us some heads up on what that is.
Yeah, the app is called Racing Sim Tools. It's obviously like Tiger, I forgot your name there, said it's developed by Zach. It's stemmed from a tool that he developed for Project Cars 2 called PC Cars 2, I think it was, something like that, I can't remember. But yeah, obviously it's developed in conjunction with all the data outputs of the car. So you've got suspension, travel, that obviously lots of graphs, lots of input stuff that you can do, and it helps you obviously develop your driver skill, but more importantly, it helps you understand more about the car. So it's giving you information like your ride height into corners, your suspension histograms, your damper histograms. So what a histogram is basically showing you where your suspension and that travel is moving in frequencies. And obviously it helps you more develop your setup skills and stuff, and it really helps. Obviously we've helped him out from the start. He came to us probably over a year and a half ago when he first was starting to build the tool, and yeah, we was a bit skeptical at the time, but yeah, we got over that and obviously helped him develop it, and it's transformed into a great tool for the sim community in general. It supports iRacing, Project Cars 2, AC, ACC. Obviously now it supports Raceroom, and more games are planned in the future. So if you,
Wonderful. Yeah,
I think
sorry, Speed. Yeah, that's a really great intro in the last 10 seconds. So there you go, Racing Sim Tools. If you use Crew Chief for situational awareness, then when it comes to setting up your car, this is what you need. Racing Sim Tools. This is the man that can provide it for you, and we'll talk some more about that later on the stream. I think you can get it from Steam, and if it's not been released yet, this latest model, then you can always tab us in Discord and we'll tell you how to get hold of it. Now, I do believe there's been 3 disconnects between the transition here, Speed, so I'm not quite sure actually what's going to happen with regards to starting of the race, because Raceroom will not allow them back in. So what are your thoughts?
usually if it's a couple of people. I think they do a reset, but it's at the end of the day, it's Rodders' league, and he's basically got the final say so on it. So it's all down to his decision. Maybe Gabsy can give us an update what's going on once he gets the news.
Yep.
So Gabsy just give us an update. No restart.
Excellent.
So it's bad luck for the three that disconnected.
Yeah, very much so. And just to give you a situational awareness, guys, of the whole league, there's 12 races in the league. 3 of those races can be dropped, or you could do all 12 and actually have 3 of your lowest scores. 3 of your lowest scores. We missed the start for some reason. So there we go. So in first position currently we've got Milan leading Mark Bean and Rodders in third. And then we've got Benjamin Rossina in fourth with Resident Evil in fifth. Looks like Rigel did manage to rejoin because he's currently running in fifth. Looking at Rigel now, side by side with Dave Crew coming down into the hairpin.
Yeah, I think that was. This is an issue on Raceroom side that it just doesn't seem to sync up really as it's normally done. Obviously,
Yes.
we've had 20 odd people in before, but obviously there must be some sort of issue going on because we've never had this issue. So we'll look into it for next week.
And we it's certainly never missed the start like that, where for some reason. So anyway, look, that doesn't matter. Let's not worry about it. The fact of the matter is, right now in the lead is this man, Milan, but he is in a 3-way sandwich there with Mark Bean and Ben as they're coming into the first corner. Castrol Edge now extending away on this long straight with a sweeping right-hander. What sort of speeds are they going to be doing down here? Speed?
Depending on how aggressive they went on trimming the car out, it's possibly like close to 200 mile an hour, 322 kilometers an hour.
200 miles an hour. Yeah, 200 miles an hour as Bean has just Mr. Bean has just taken first position. Absolutely marvellous for him as they're now going down Rauch into Worth. Oh, in fact, no, actually, where am I? Crikey. Ambulance for Tiger. Yeah, so they're coming down into the Rint corner. No, they're not. They're coming into Worth. This straight goes into Rint corner.
Yeah, just to give you an update, obviously there's 3 tyres that you can use in this F1 League. You've got soft, medium and hard. Everyone would have qualified on the softs, and you can start on whatever tyre you want. Currently the top 3 are on the soft tyre. The next 4, from 4th to 7th, are on the medium. Then we've got another group of 3 runners on softs, another a group of 2 on mediums, a soft runner medium, and 1 person on hard, which is Cos. So this is going to be an interesting battle as Ridel's moved up into third, taking Milan on the medium. So he's the first of the medium runners, is Ridel.
Yeah, some fantastic camera angles here with these cars, and don't be fooled if you're not a sim racer and you're looking at this and you think it's a bunch of grown-ups playing games. 200 miles an hour on here is a simulated 200 miles an hour. It's still 200 miles an hour, and you can still ruin the race for somebody else. Yes, it's a simulation, but there are very much real-world connotations. Full petition regulations are in effect. The flag rules are out there. There'll be a pit stop and tyre rubbing there as we see Rodders battling with Milan there, as I think he just takes Milan. So full pit stops. The cars are individually set up. These guys have literally put real life, real time and effort into learning the circuit inside and out. Particularly in this car, and really driving the car hard as they can in order to qualify well and actually finish. These guys are racing for 80 minutes. It was like 33 degrees in some places in the UK today. It's hot right now. Some of these are in VR. They're probably naked. This man here, Rodders, doesn't drive unless he's in VR. He's currently sitting in his house, naked, with a Camelback on, with a tube shoved in his mouth so that he can drink, with a VR headset on. He looks great out here. As long as his wife doesn't walk in his sim room, he'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a good one. You can see now that the soft runners are starting to struggle. Now you've seen Milan drop back, that's like 7 places since the start of the race. And the medium runners are slowly moving forward. So it's going to be definitely a strategy race. I think the ideal strategy is 2 stints on mediums and then 1 on softs. From what I tested, is that yes, the initial couple of laps are slower on the mediums, but the averages are earlier. You can run 10, 12 laps, 15, 16 laps on the after that stage, after the initial like 5 or 6 laps where you don't have any tyre drop off.
Yes, absolutely, and exactly as you were saying there about the tyre speed. We're seeing Mark Bean on speed, and right up to right behind him, like on it like a nun on a cucumber. Rodders, who I believe is on a different tyre strategy, is he not?
Yeah, Rodders is on the medium strategy. Obviously, he's put a lot of work in on his strategy. It's something he's been working on, on himself in general. And I know Rodders was one beforehand to be, thinking of qualifying pace and not really working on his. Being that was my suggested to him every time. Think about race pace, because usually I don't go out and do qualifying laps at all when I'm practicing for a league. I just do, race runs, work on my race setup. And then when it gets closer to the time, I maybe drop down, drop the fuel out of it and do a few laps, just to see my qualifying pace.
Yes.
Before the actual qualifying.
That's very interesting, Speed. So, and that's a very, very good point, and something well worth highlighting is that qualifying pace is complete. As we've just seen someone go off there, I think that was crikey, who was that? Was that Ashley Keane? I think it was Ashley that went off there. But there's a very good point where you're mentioning there. Qualifying pace and race pace is 2 completely separate things. And as I said, an 80-minute race is a long time, is it not?
Yeah, it's a very long time, and obviously, in the fuel-wise situation, that you got to be. Yes, you can put. I think it's nearly 160 litres in the tank in these cars, but if you run that 160 litres, you're just going to be slow wearing the tyres out more.
Yes.
So it's worth just putting enough, maybe 1 or 2 laps extra in than an actual tyre stint, and mixing it up that way. So you're running lighter on good rubber type thing. So obviously your last stint, when maybe you take a fresh set of tyres and maybe say 30 to 40 litres. So you light on fuel, you got a fresh set of booties, so you can go hard in the last stint. As where some people have gone on the softs to start with, on a heavier fuel load, and gone.
As we just seen Milan hit Audi there, but thankfully only a couple of places lost. I was just about to say, with a pause, apologies for cutting across there. Milan was very much looking at Audi there to see whether he could, zip past him. But the faster you go, the quicker you got to brake, the more effect it has, and you've only got to, have you not, just touch these cars, and they're gonna come off. Damage model is on, I believe. You say you can ruin your aero.
Yeah, to be honest, the damage is pretty brutal on the rear of these cars. I know in the practice race on Wednesday, quite a few of them went out with damage just from clipping the rear wheels against walls and stuff like that. It really damaged the wheels. They were getting, running into the back of people with the front aero and getting nothing.
Yeah, and we've just heard from Gabsy. Very likely that Madley is out with damage. Let's flick to Madley. Let's see what's going on there. Madley, where are you? Now look, he's still going, so he's not out. He's obviously got some damage because Gabsy's reported that he's got hit. So it's whether Madley will actually keep going and then see whether he can struggle through and until his plan for his pit to repair. I'm not seeing any damage though. Speed, are you seeing any? Is there a slightly offset his front wing?
He may have got away quite lucky. I think if he gets front damage, I think we'd see the front wing disappear.
Yes.
I think it works on that type of damage model, whereas if you get a little bit front, it just shows you lost your front wing. But we've also got a good question from Tempin in chats asking about the S meet in a circle. Is that the compound? Yes, it is. That's what compound. You can also tell that the soft tyres will have a yellow band on them. As you can see, Madley's got a white band on his tyres. And if we jump on board with Cos, you click on jump on board with Cos because I'm on my push to talk. If you can see, Cos has got the orange tyres on. So that's the 3 tyre compounds and the colours. So that'll help you out in the race.
Good point, Speed, and and thank you very much, Pinpoint, for bringing that up. So there you go. So when you look at the person's name at the bottom, as we flick the camera, and we're in control of the camera because Auto Director does whatever it wants to, you can see that that detail down there as Speed has highlighted. Now, interestingly, Cos is the only person out there on hards, and that's because his racing strategy is to race the long race. This guy here, he will not mind if I call him this because actually it's in context, and that is he is the slow and steady, and he is looking at the longer game. I'm willing to bet that Cos will pit relatively late and will use the averagely fast times that he does to try and give him a position in the lower quadrant. When I say slow and steady, folks, slow and steady in this sort of league will whip pretty much anybody out there in a public league. I can assure you of that. So so there you go. So Cos is the only one on hard tyres. Okay, back to some hassle and back to some battles. We're looking at Audi and Flack now. Audi in the grey, and just commentators curse as Flack goes wide there. But Audi had that little shunt earlier on, as we saw, but he didn't suffer that badly, I don't think. I think he lost 1 or 2 positions, but of course Milan lost a fair amount. Now, ironically, Milan has now gone in front of Audi, so he's crawled that back, but still on softs.
Yeah, obviously Milan qualified on pole, and he's just literally dropped 10 positions in the start of this race. So I don't know if it's just race nerves type thing that got to him. But obviously, then vice versa, you got Rodders that's still 8 positions from the start type. So it's obviously good for him, and he's running currently 4/10 slower than Benjamin in front at the minute. And obviously they're on a different tyre, so it's different stages of the race for both of these.
Absolutely, and this is our leader here, Benjamin from Cookie Monster Motorsport. Welcome, Benjamin. I'll just call you Ben from now on. And I'm looking at the back of this back wing here, and I'm saying Rodders, who's closing up, from 8th, he's now into 2nd position. He's 5.64 seconds behind Ben at the minute. And riding with Rodders, to give you some sort of idea, there we go. So we're riding with Rodders there, and we were just with Ben. There goes Ben. On the main straight now, where Rodders, 6 seconds behind now, clearly because he's on the faster bit. You just see that dot just coming into Remus, Castrol Edge corner, sorry. There is the leader. So this man, Rodders, from 8th to 2nd, will keep a close eye on his progression and come back to him. But there are plenty of battles down the field, Speed.
Sorry about that. I think Rodders is running a fairly hefty fuel to start with, if I remember. I think he said he's going to run, an average fuel to start with, pit for a heavy fuel load, so he's got a lighter fuel load for his last pit. As well as I don't know what Benjamin's doing, but I presume he's doing quite a light fuel loads type thing. Obviously, light fuel loads and soft tyres.
It's a very, very good point because, we told you full damage is on. Flag rules are out. They've got to do a pit stop. They've got to change their tyres, and of course the strategy of when they come in for their pit and whether they take on fuel, whether they're running on a light load now in order to give them better acceleration and top end. Well, that's all part of their own strategies out there. You know, this is not a default setup sort of, you know, let's all get out there and have fun. This is a let's all get out there and have fun, but there is very much a serious element to this. You know, is this esports? Yes, it is. You know, are they getting, you know, £1 million prize money? No, they're not. Are they racing any less harder than someone in esports? No, they're racing just as hard, I can assure you of that.
Well, they are racing for some prizes this season. I know what a couple of prizes are up for grabs for, and they're awesome. I'm under a strict nothing to say policy by death from Rodders.
Rodders being one of our honchos and Rodders being the sponsor of this event, I know he's put a lot of work into this. I'm going to give a shout out to FX, as I usually do. He's done an extraordinary amount of administrative work in the background there, helping Rodders with this, with the teams and the liveries, and also, of course, as ever, providing us with our technical support with regards to our streams, our live time commentary, our remote access to the race directors and so on. Without that, you simply would not get the quality of the stream. I can't speak too highly of the quality of the commentary, but the quality of the stream and so on, without that sort of expertise. So great shout out to FX. Back to the race. Come on, there's some great battles here. We're currently looking at FX in the yellow, who just goes over to the right there, but right behind him is Flack and Madley. Now we're riding with Madley now. Almost up into the rear of Flack, where he would have then given him a prostrate examination, but it looks like Flack is you know, moved over and allows Madley to take Flack at Remus.
Yeah, that was a good you know, outside to inside move.
Absolutely, well done, Flack.
Try there.
Into Schlossgold, Flack then with Madley right behind him, goes slightly wide, Madley stays on the outside, but look, Flack 9 has got the inside when it comes into Roush, and down this little straight into Worth. Bit of a left-hander and then a right-hand kink, and along a main straight to the Rint. I always get this corner wrong, Speed. I really do. I don't know why. Perhaps it's just my age. Perhaps I'm just too old. And then to Red Bull Mobile corner, then along to the straight there. Fair play, Flack. He ran a fantastic little battle with Madley there, didn't he?
Yeah, they're both racing in the paint schemes I like to run, so I'm rooting for these two at the minute.
Don't forget, guys, on in the YouTube there, you know, if you're going to watch this all the way through with us, well, you know, you better get your stamina pills out as well, because we're going to want you to help us later on with identifying race through the event. So keep out for that. We will try very much to give you a good, solid look at everybody and where they're racing, as we just see Milan there take Flack.
Yeah, I think someone put a good thing in chat saying that Blanc possibly running on a really, you know, very heavy fuel load. With the lap times that he's doing at the minute is nowhere near what his qualifying pace was on them tyres.
Yes. Now I think we missed something vital, which was that I think Rigel took Mark Bean for third place. We're currently riding with Mark Bean, and Mark is only 0.4 of a second behind Rigel, so it's not as if Rigel is pulling away. The chief track master, as we have annotated, because he certainly is. I mean, he's not an alien. You know, you can't just give away aliens, you know, for the title of an alien for the sake of it. But Rigel epitomises, in my view, someone who spends a great deal of real time and effort and energy in learning circuits, lines, cars, and everything else, and that is, you know, a very solid, very quick sim racer. He's not an alien, but in saying that, you know, he's brought it to you a few times, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's put me under some pressure many and many times. And obviously, as Bean's got DRS on him there. You saw him, do a strategic move into turn 1. Didn't go for the overtake, went for the drive out of it, so he could possibly do a move into turn 3.
Yes.
And possibly into turn 4.
Now talk to us about DRS. Sorry, Speed. Talk to us about DRS. How many locations around here have we got DRS?
You've got anywhere you want to use DRS, you can use it, but you only have 3 uses for the lap. Obviously, you get it if you're within 1 second of the not the car in front, but the driver directly next in line to you. So obviously, fourth to third. So say we come up to a back marker, and obviously they're in 1 second, they will not get DRS.
And it's simulated as we've just seen it. There we go. DRS is on.
Yeah, you've got DRS down this straight, but you can use it anywhere you like. So obviously a good one is after turn 1, down this past turn 2 into turn 3. And then obviously after turn 3 down to turn 4, and possibly use it across the start finish line to keep within that DRS zone.
Yes. So, so they can use it wherever they want. But naive hat on now. So, what are the benefits of DRS for those people who don't know? And what are the benefits and what are the cons of DRS, Speed?
Well, DRS, it stands for drag reduction system, and what it does is basically it stalls the aero of the rear wing. It basically takes it out of the flow of the air, makes it as streamlined as possible, and just reduces the drag of the car, obviously. So it gives you a greater top speed, but in that it reduces your downforce. So obviously using it through sector 2, in sector, the start of sector 3 is not advisable, as you're more likely to lose the car. But exit, turn 1, exit turn 3 is a good choice, and exit to the last corner, where you're coming onto the straights, is excellent choices to use it. You can take it through high-speed corners, but you're risking losing the car really quickly and ending up in the barrier.
Yes. Riding with Pinpoint, because Pinpoint's got his own fan club in YouTube, so a shout out to Pinpoint. Pinpoint recently took ownership of his new direct drive Fanatec podium, and we lost him for a couple of days as he hid in his cupboard cuddling it before he plugged it in. Pinner's having a great race, currently running in 8th position, and I know he has put an awful lot of time and energy and investment into making sure that he gives a good performance out here. He's had a couple of great races. Pinner's either will give you an absolutely fantastic race, or will come off, and I hope that I don't commentate or curse him as I say that. So we'll be watching very closely for Pinners. Currently running in 8th position. He's got 2 seconds clear to Benjamin and 3.5 seconds to Benjamin. Actually, 3 seconds to Benjamin and 4 seconds to Charger. And in front of Pinpoint right now, Dave Crew, 4.6 seconds. So Pinpoint's got some breathing space, hasn't he?
Yeah, Pinpoint's obviously.
I'll tell you who hasn't, though, Speed. I'll tell you who hasn't. This man, Rodders, because something serious has happened there. I thought the name was, Ben obviously had an off that we missed, and Rodders was climbing up, wasn't it?
Yeah, you need to phone yourself a ambulance, because obviously Benjamin pitted on the last lap, and that was where I was getting her before I got shunted into the wall.
Into the commentary pit wall. I'm sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Benjamin pitted and obviously handed the lead to Rodders, but Rodders had closed us down, from 6 seconds to 2 seconds within a couple of laps. Obviously, Benjamin tyres must have dropped off the cliff, as he's now gone on to the mediums, and he's currently in 7th, 3.5 seconds behind Pinpoint at the minute.
As we see Mark Bean just exiting the pits, and Mark was on softs before. I believe he's now changed to mediums as well.
Yep, I can see a lot of people going to the mediums for this middle stint. I can see the people that started on mediums staying on the mediums and then going to softs for the last stint. I think a free pit stop strategy is just too much. You don't benefit from it. It's too much, wasted time. I think the 2-stop is the key to go for these races in future.
Yep, Audi on it like a car bonnet as he just takes Mark Bean going into Remus there. Yeah, speed, pit stops. How many pit stops? Can they do as many pit stops as they want?
Yep, they could pit on every lap if they wanted to. But also, we now have mandatory pit stops enabled for this league. And with it being a 80-minute race, sorry, it will open 20 minutes into the race and close 20 minutes from the end of the race. So you've got a 40-minute pit window that you have to go in and change all 4 tyres. No, 2 tyres minimum, but there's no point in changing 2 because it's that quick to do 4, you might as well do 4.
Yes. Pinpoint now in 5th position as a result of people pitting, drivers pitting. Right behind him there, we can see the front wings, the cyan front wings of Ben, who was leading earlier on. We know Ben is exceptionally quick around here. 2 seconds quicker. A 1:03 he put in here, although it would be in a qualifying time. It's he is closing 1.3, 1.4. He is closing on Pinpoint. So it'll be interesting to see how he takes that, because of course he's on fresh tyres and Pinpoint is on those soft tyres. Those tyres will be going off now, Speed?
Yeah, drastically. 23 laps in, it's getting to the end of them tyres. As we just see Evil pitting as well, and he was on the mediums, so obviously Pinpoint's going for a long stint on these. I think he should be pitting, because I think everyone else that was started on the softs has pitted so far. So maybe just a bit of an experience, not judging it right.
Yeah, riding with Zach Etier, our sponsor of the event. He's chasing down Charger, looking on the wing of Charger. Zach is only 0.39, 0.38, 0.37, so clearly he's capturing it. He's got that slipstream. Has he got enough to go into Castrol Corner? No, he hasn't. What about the straight? Now, there's no, why isn't Charger using his DRS? Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, because he's not within 1 second of the guy in front when they cross the line.
Of course, but Zach is, right?
Yeah, Zach is. So if Zach does it right and passes him after the start-finish line into turn 1, he will then get, a free lap of DRS use. So he can use that DRS to pull a second in front. But it's one of them that once you do pull that trigger, you've got to go. You've got to be hitting your braking points, hitting your apexes. Not making any mistakes. It's really a crunch lap.
Yeah.
If you get passed into turn 1, because you've got to break that slipstream, you got to break it so you can get them out of DRS zone.
Riding with Audi, looking at Mark Bean. Don't know why all of a sudden I've given him his first name. It's Mr. Bean, RWB Bean, MKS Beans.
It's because we turned into the BBC.
We're not the BBC. This is RWB, not BBC or Channel 3 or ITV. I'm very surprised, actually. We're 30 minutes in. Not one of us has said a swear word, which is very, very unusual. But perhaps we've got our best of behaviour heads on today, purely because out of respect for these guys, to be honest with you, they've worked so bleeding hard over the past, 2 months in preparation for this event. Yes, it's a sim, but as I said, real world, it takes time and energy and effort and commitment, and they've all done that, irrelevant of whether they're right at the front or right at the back. It only takes 2 cars for a race. It doesn't matter whether it's 18th and 19th or 1st and 2nd. I think we're on our best behaviour, Speed.
Best behaviour, and obviously on that ramble of yours, Rodders had pitted and obviously come out in 5-6 seconds in front of Benjamin, so that was a good stint on for Rodders there. 7 seconds gained in that pit cycle.
Yeah, and now 6.5 seconds in front of Ben, right?
Yeah, obviously the word of wisdom from the speed guru has worked in Rodders' favour with working on his racing style more than the 1 lap outright pace.
Well, he's certainly got pace. I mean, at the beginning there, went from 8th to 2nd, and has obviously had that fast pace. I mean, in order to, as you say, to keep that sort of currently 5.2 second lead in front of Ben. But you know, fair play to Rodders. But fair play also to this man, because this man is first at the minute, Rigel, and 22 seconds behind him is Rodders. So yes, Rodders has a fantastic pit strategy and has come out in front of Ben, but it's John Haig who is leading, but he has not pitted yet, guys. So essentially we can say that Rodders is currently in first position with Ben 5 seconds behind him.
Yeah, obviously we've got a question from Tempin in the YouTube asking how long is an average pit stop. I don't actually know, but going by what we can determine from the timings, I think Rodders was 6 to 8 seconds in front of Ryder when he pitted, and this come out 22 seconds behind him. So you're looking at a delta of 30, I would say 30 to 40 seconds, just to give you a wide berth. An average, pit line entry to pit line exit, of 40 seconds, something like that.
Yes. So currently we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 6 guys out there who have not pitted yet. Rigel has not pitted yet. Audi has not pitted yet. Madley has now just come in to change. Now, what will his strategy be? Will he go on the mediums or the hards for the long run?
I think it'd stick on the mediums, to be honest. I don't think the hards are viable. And like I said, I think the ideal strategy is 2 stints on mediums and an end stint on softs. But you could use them softs to start the race with, get a gap, pull the pin early on an early pit stop, and then, eke out your 2 medium sets if you really fancy to do that. Or you could split it up and go medium, soft, medium if you want to be really adventurous.
Yeah. Rigel is now pitted and exiting now in 3rd place. 10 seconds behind him is Evil. So, with what is essentially now 32 minutes into the race, we can now say after the first pit stop that we have got our current runners. First place, Rodders. Behind Rodders, 6 seconds, Ben. Behind Ben, 1.7 seconds, this man, Rigel, who's just come out of the pits. Who was leading beforehand, but obviously that time differential has enabled him to rejoin in 3rd place. Behind Rigel, 9.8 seconds, this man, Resident Evil. Very, very talented racing driver, sim racing driver. I'm willing to bet that, there will be, over the next few laps, that distance will close. Dave Crew, currently running in 5th position. Good to see Dave Crew up there. I say good to see him up there. It's not as if it's not familiar for him, but good to see him up there anyway. Someone tell me who Tom Weaver is, please.
Tom Weaver is Seahacks. We got a message from Charger saying it's Seahack, not Squid.
Oh, and we just heard from Gabsy that Bean, that Mr. Bean crashed into the downhill corner after the hairpin. So where is Bean now? So Bean is right behind Tom Weaver. So at Seahacks. So Bean is 3.7 seconds behind. We just see him there going around the Castrol Mobile corner. So Bean is currently running 7th position. We need to change cameras back to this guy because John Rigel has closed up to Ben by 0.7 of a second. So how has that happened? Did we miss something there? Has Ben had an off, or has Rigel just sped up?
Obviously, Ben started on the soft tyres and was running 105 5s to 105, deads. And I think he's gone to the mediums and he's just, a second to a second and a half slower. So I think he's just struggling, with the medium tyres, whereas everyone, Rigel and Rodders, both started on the mediums and obviously done a lot of testing on the mediums.
Yep. I really thought he was going to take him going into Remus then. I was just about to ready to flick the camera onto, but it is. Yeah. So what you're saying then is that Rigel has been perhaps training for race pace on medium tyres and not focusing, as you said earlier, with Rodders on the sort of short-term speed for the qualifying, whereas perhaps Ben has either one got a problem or two not necessarily focused on the longer run.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, I think we should go on with Lord Zach. He's lost his front wing, unfortunately.
Oh
And
no!
obviously, he's very new to Raceroom, and he's only had the game obviously to develop the tool for. So he didn't know about pit strategies. So I hope he's set up his fixed aero, because he unfortunately he'll be stuck there a long time with no front wing. Oh yeah, so
He's away.
So he had it set. It's good to hear, and it would have been a shame to see him go out earlier on.
There's commitment for you, Speed. He's not a. He is committed to the sim racing community. That app is absolutely fantastic. Racing sim tools. Pretty much everyone in RWB is using it. He's our main sponsor for the event, amongst a few other sponsors. But well done, Zach, and good luck to you for the rest of the race. Plenty of time. Keep it on the grey stuff. Race clean, race fair, race for position. Respect other people, buy a racecraft, and enjoy yourself.
He classes himself as an engineer that likes to dabble in coding.
So you heard it there.
Yeah. So he loves the technical side of sim racing. He just loves it, to be honest, mate. He loves every side of it, and obviously he developed the tool for himself personally, and then I think it was his wife suggested that he put it out there, and obviously he got talking to a few people, and a few people pointed in the RWB's way. Like I said earlier, we was a bit skeptical at the time, so obviously someone just coming on saying that wanted to give us this tool to use, and as it being an internet community, we was a bit skeptical. But obviously we talked to him, tried the tool, and obviously it's gone on from there. The apps changed the sim racing community, in my view. It's basically allowed people to understand more of the technical side of setting a car up and driving techniques and all this, and it's just revolutionary. I don't think there's ever been a bit of hardware out there that's done that, in the sim racing community. And it's still in its early infancy. It's not like it's going upwards and not downwards.
Yeah. And can you buy it? Is it shareware? Is it freeware? What is that? What is it?
The initial tool is free to download, but obviously you have to buy licenses in order to use the tool, and I think they retail at $15 each. But it may sound much, but that obviously gives you technical support, and obviously Xerax Discord is always open to asking questions about stuff. He'll more than happily answer stuff. There's also an 180-page manual that you have access to as well to help you along the way. And
that's quite extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, as you say, that is a professional engineering app that has been easy to use via a graphical user interface that gives you histograms, trend charts, and so on, and guides you with an 180-page manual. Look, do yourself a favour, everyone. Racing Sim Tools. Go and get it. Look at it. Get a license. $15. What's that? It's not even a pint of beer. As we see, Rigel just re-challenged Ben there. I think he's taken that position. He has. Well done, Zach, and that should be embraced. The engineering commitment to the race simming world is outstanding. So thank you, Zach. Back to the race and other things. As I said, Rigel and Ben backwards and forwards, and Ben challenging Rigel. Rigel retaking his second position. Good to see them out there having a great race. I bet they're sweating buckets now, these fellas. They've still got 40 minutes to go. Normally a race would be 40 minutes speed.
Yeah, this time of the race you'll be thinking of the pit stops have all been done, and 20 minutes left of the race, and yeah, we'll be contemplating of what we're going to do later on tonight.
Yeah.
We've still got another 40 minutes to go. These guys have still got another pit stop to do.
Yeah.
They're not going to go. They're not going to go to the end from here on the tyres they're on. I said there were 36 laps in. I think we estimated between 72 to 74 laps, depending on the race pace. So we've only just hit half race distance, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we're still 40 minutes left. So obviously they've hit half race timer as well. So it's not over. It's not over to the fat lady sings, as I say.
Absolutely not, no. Let's talk about some lap timings. Rodders has got the fastest lap time in the race out there at the minute with a 1:04.950, and the next one closest to that is a 1:05.043, which is Ben. So, we saw Ben put in a 1:03 during qualifying with Rodders' slower qualifying time. But as Speed said earlier on, Rodders has been practicing on his race pace, and clearly to pull out a 1:04 during the race, that's fairly significant.
Yeah, that's really impressive. I'm just going to pop up the track map, and you can see, this is where you can see people. You obviously can see Rodders coming down into turn 4 now as they're entering turn 3, so that's a hefty lead. You can see a couple of back markers spooned in there, and yeah, it's quite a spread out field at the minute. Obviously he's coming up to 3 back markers, 9th, 10th, 11th at the minute. Obviously we've got Zach in 19th there. He's not too far from being lapped again. Obviously he had lost the front wing, but as you can see, we've got Rigel and Benjamin here that have swapped places again. So they've got a good couple of corners before they catch up to FX. So this is going to carry on being an excellent battle throughout the race. I can see it being.
Yeah, Rigel on it like a Dalek on a dustbin. 1 minute, and then Ben to take him the way he did. Well, crikey, on it like a car bonnet. Them two backwards and forwards. Fantastic. I've just looking at YouTube chat. I just realised that old Pinpoint Son is on the channel. Is he still there? If he is still there, give us a little hello, and then we'll make sure we give this man some screen time, because he's doing exceptionally well. Pinpoint in 8th position with Audi right behind him, I believe. Is that Audi right behind him? No, that's not Audi.
Yeah, maybe young Junior can give us an update on the puddle of sweat round his dad at the minute.
Yeah,
is
I'd be sweating if I had this fella behind me, Mark Bean, who's right behind Pinpoint. Bean is, I was trying to work out the other day how long I've been with RWB, and I think it's about four months or so. But Bean has stepped up his game in only 4 months while I've been with you, most certainly. And, is becoming much quicker. And I know he's put an awful lot of time and effort into this track and car as well. That's paying off, because he's running 8th at the minute. It has closed on Pinpoint. Pinpoint is holding his own though. Let's not take that away from Pinpoint. Just done a 1:05.453. That's not slow, is it?
Well, there's been reports of a bus driver terrorising downtown London, over the past few months, and it turned out to be Mark Bean practicing for this league.
Yeah. People were going from Piccadilly to Oxford Circus in 3.5 minutes on a double-decker as a result of this fella.
Yeah, it was impressive at the time.
Very impressive. Okay, so the main battles are here at the minute, with Rigel in 2nd place now. And
Ben, but Charger's got damaged and is sat in the pits. Obviously lost the front wing somewhere. I don't know how it's happened.
Charger currently running 16th. His last lap 1:06.141. So hopefully he can get that repaired and get back out there. It's a long race, long legs. This is a game of the tortoise and not necessarily the hare. Look, there are plenty of tortoises out there and there are plenty of hares out there, but the tortoises ain't that slow, are they? Come on. So good to see Charger back out there. Charger currently running in 16th. We'll revisit Charger earlier on. Had some lovely battles earlier on. Earlier on, Speed put the track map up. I don't know whether you can do that again, Speed. I just wanted to point out that, you know, we are now in the business here of, you know, half of the, you know, certainly the first five, coming across back markers, and now it's very, very difficult to be able to estimate where people are as a result of, one, the track distance, and two, the time frame of the race. So it's very difficult to determine, you know, whether they're coming across a back marker and who that is. So this track map actually is going to help us when it comes to identifying who the person is that they may well be coming up to. Great. So as I said, we're looking at Rigel, who's you know, 0.7 of a second behind Ben now. Just let's use this time to go down the field. Running with Evil then, 10 seconds behind Rigel, currently in 4th place. He's on medium tyres. Dave Crew. Dave, I believe, has lost a leg recently or something. Is that right, Speed? Didn't he lose a leg?
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Apparently so. We'll come back to that one. I think he lost a leg in an accident quite a while ago. Tom Weaver in currently in 6th place. That is that's Hacks, I think, RWB Hacks. Good to see him up there in a steady, reliable position. You've got a bit of breathing space, see, Hacks. You've got 10 seconds to Dave Crew, and behind you, 2 seconds. You should be able to see him if we look back. There he is in the yellow, Mark Bean. And Mark Bean obviously taking Pinpoint as we just moved off of Pinpoint earlier on. I'm wondering whether Pinpoint's tyres are starting to hurt him now. But Pinpoint is currently now in 8th position. Right, oh, but look at that, you know, thanks very much, he says. And takes a look and takes a look, but no, stays. I thought he was going to take him then.
Yes, obviously, I think that's FX. And he's a lap down at the minute, I think.
Lap down, yeah. So Pinpoint in 8th position, and then we've got Audi in 9th position. Audi's last lap was a 106.936 best lap, 105.674. So currently 17 seconds behind Pinpoint. So he's got a couple of back markers in the way there. They'll get out of the way, fear not. If there are indicators on these cars, they'll be indicating. They'll get off the racing line as quickly as possible. You can't afford in these cars at these speeds to take all bloody day, you know, moving over. So people will move over. There's no doubt about that. Justin Madley, currently in 10th place. Obviously, you saw him earlier on. He had that front wing damage. But even still, Speed, you know, I mean, he's climbed up to 10th position. So I mean, that's a good race pace he's got there.
Yeah, that's an impressive comeback from Madley in a minute.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, and down into FX now. FX currently running in 11th position. Right behind him is H-Tune. It wasn't the person we saw there with FX. That was back marker. H-Tune's got 16 seconds to FX, so FX has got a commanding sort of lead above him there. Flack currently running in 13th. Again, plenty of breathing space. You know, he's got 17 seconds to H-Tune, and behind him though, this man, Milan, who doesn't take any prisoners. We saw him do exceptionally well earlier on. He's now Speed. Is this a tyre issue or is this a pace issue? Because now we saw one of the fastest, or the fastest during qualifying, and a fast pace. Is it tyres now, or is it his pace now in the race as a result of him being in 14th?
I think it's just his. I think he had very good one lap pace, but obviously that's what he's worked on throughout his testing, as it seems. And when it's come to the race, he's just not performed. Maybe it's the tyres. He's not really running on the medium tyres, which is quite a different driving to the softs. He's just one of them. We don't know. So obviously he's a new person to RWB, league racing. So I've not seen him before.
Well, he's done a fine performance so far, and he's kept it on the grey stuff from what I've seen. So Keep going, Milan, and welcome to the league. We look very much forward to seeing how you do for the rest of this race and indeed for the rest of the league. On the front wing with Ben, and I flicked to him because Gabsy down on the down in trackside with his own set of cameras, feeding us intelligence for wider situational awareness. We knew this would happen. We knew we needed this extra sort of oi, look at that, just looking into Remus. Will he take him? No. Very, very close there, Speed, weren't they?
Yeah, that was, I think Rigel's twitched a bit there from the rear end, you know, as he saw Benjamin coming down.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben on it like a fox in a wheelie bin. But Rigel and Ben have swapped backwards and forwards between second and third quite a bit. Coming up to a back marker now, not sure. Can you put the track map on? Who is the back marker? Let's see, in front of Rigel. Coming up to Rigel, in front of Rigel, I think Rigel. So Rigel's in second place. Where is he, guys? Zach. So number 19, that's Zach. So Zach Etier, our sponsor, looking on the wing of Zach now. There's Rigel. So we can see the battle between second and third, Rigel and Ben, from the wing of Zach, our sponsor, Racing Sim Tools. So, oi, and there he goes. Stayed off the racing line, allowed them both through. Great racecraft, Zach, well done, thank you. Back to Ben now, who's now in third position still, but right on the tail end of Rigel and constantly challenging and pushing hard, which is fantastic racing. Just takes him on this corner here, which is the Rouch corner, and into Worth. But again, Rigel's not going to let up, is he? I mean, he's going to, at the first opportunity.
That's one thing. That's one thing Rigel doesn't do, is that's give up.
No,
he'll race you till the end.
Absolutely, he will. Yeah, as they all will. But
it looks like Benjamin's pulled 7/10 gap of the Rigel, so hopefully Rigel's DRS will pull him back in. So I think this is all that's happening is that they're passing each other on the DRS, and just fighting for position constantly. I don't think they can break away from each other.
Yep, and look at that as we see Rigel now coming into Remus, coming into Schlossgold. And looking into Roush, and is retaking his second position, which is absolutely fantastic. Wrong camera, Tiger. Get a grip of yourself. Absolutely fantastic. Today I was at Donington Park and I watched the Kumo BMW series. Fantastic series. Super power V10 monster M3 zipping around Donington Park. The Clio Cup, and that was all fantastic. Loved watching every bit of it, but none of it gave me a lump in the throat as much as the Group 1 cars, the pre-66 and the pre-83 racing cars. And here I am commentating on this sim and getting exactly the same feeling as that. Watch these two battle out coming into Remus corners. Ben takes Rigel again. They're backwards and forwards like a yo-yo, aren't they? It's great racing.
Yeah, also it's a shame we've had his first retirement to the race. Milan sustained some damage and obviously has retired the car to the pits.
Sorry, say that again. Who has retired?
Milan.
Oh, God. I thought you said Rodders. As we see Rodders come into the pits, let's not take anything away from him, Speed. He's got a 20-second lead on Ben Rose Sr. and John Haig, Rigel. He will come out, and let's ride now with Ben, as Ben is coming along the straight now. Rodders is in the pits. Fair assessment that these guys are going to have to pit again.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. I don't think they can't go to the end on these tyres. They've just been, 3 or 4 seconds off the lap, off the pace at the end. And obviously, Rodders has gone for the 3 medium stints. Old strategy. I'd have probably gone for gone a bit longer on the mediums and tried to eat out a couple more laps. he's still got, what, 24 laps, I reckon, he'll have left, and that's another stint on these tyres. Obviously.
Yeah. Do you know what? Earlier on I was talking about the importance of having an extra set of eyes out there, and I'm going to give Gabsy a shout out. He's doing a fantastic job here, guys, feeding us information about all 19 there, and the reason he's doing that so that we can give fair coverage to everybody. And right now we're going to ride with this guy, Madley, because Madley ended up going into the pits as a result of that front wing getting damaged, losing time, getting it repaired, coming out, came out in 18th position. Where is he now? In 8th. You know, he's done a fantastic drive, really pushed it. You know, he's gone past Audi, and he's currently now looking at Mark Bean. Although, to be frank, you know, he's got a 22-second gap between him and Mark Bean. So very well done to Madley to be up there in 8th position. Keep it on the grey stuff, my old friend, and yeah, you know, I've no doubt that you'll be in the top quadrants in the finish. But in saying that, you know, yeah, so very important that we have those extra set of eyes out there. We want to give a fair coverage to everybody out there with their own battles out there, because it only takes 2 to race. And you know, the fact of the matter is, just because you know Zach and Koz are at the back there does not mean to say that they're not having their own battle. They're not at the minute. If they were, we'd bring it to you. So having that extra set of eyes is really great. So thank you very much, Gabsy. As we immediately change to these two coming into the pits and coming out the pits. Sorry, Pinpoint.
Slight mistake from them from pit exit there on with Pinpoint.
Yeah, what happened there? I had my eyes off the screen. Over to you.
He just lit up the rear tyres coming through the sharp pit exit, and Owen just, you know, slightly slid coming out the pits. Lucky enough, he got away with it. I don't know who's that he's battling with. So it's not for position, so he must be being lapped by Ben. Is it?
10th position. So yeah, there's 2 or 3 cars there.
Rigel.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Rigel. Yeah. That was a close call for Rigel, you know, going through that traffic there. But I was just about to say, I think we're going to be having a chat with 5 people tonight. Obviously, the top 3 will get a say. Then we'll go on to the racer of the meeting that is voted for by you and us in the commentary box. And also, we'll have a word from our sponsor at the end, from Zach.
That's an excellent idea.
Just giving us a good, you know, good chat at the end, and then we'll end the stream. And yeah,
stick around for that, guy.
So that'll be good, you know, 5-10 minutes at the end of the race. You know, we'll have a good chin wag, not too long, just to give, you know, the top 3 to give said their piece, the racer and the meeting, and obviously a word from our sponsor for the first race.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Speed. That's a great plan. We'll do that. And you know, we've got 22 minutes left. Start thinking now, people. Start thinking now who you'd like to see us have a chat with as racer of the event. I'm going to have a chat with Rodders because I think there should be extra points for that, to be honest with you. I really do, and that will give us a bit of an input onto the into the actual race as well, rather than the commentary. It's only the first race, so I don't see any reason why that can't happen. But we'll confirm that next week, rather than trying to confirm that with you on the stream at the minute. So, you know, as we just see Tom just hit the sausage there. You do 2 things with a sausage: you cook it and you suck it. You don't roll over it. So be careful, Tom. See hacks. This guy, we haven't seen much of this guy tonight, Ricky Richard from On The Limit Racing. Ricky just coming now into the pits, so good to see him out there. Charger earlier on, who had that front wing damage. Charger currently running 15th, and he may well, as he just comes into Worth and out of Worth corner up towards Rint, he may well just take Ricky coming through there. We'll see.
I think Ricky's out of the pit lane now, or he's running down to the pit exit.
Riding with Pinpoint then, looking at Tom Weaver, 0.8 of a second, 6.6, 5.8. 0.55, 5.4, 5.2, 5.1. He's clearly quicker. Can he take him into Castrol Corner? That's not somewhere you'd take him anyway, but certainly challenge. So I mean, I think he's looking at Tom. You know, Tom is pinpoint bait right now. There's no question about that. And there we go. So pinpoint, you owe me £10. I've just given the commentator's curse. I'm very sorry to Tom Weaver, right on Remus corner there, which has allowed pinpoint up into 8th position. So well done, pinpoint.
I can see this battle for 7 going, you know, a long way. Obviously, looking at it, they've got pretty similar, you know, race pace going on at the minute. So it could be a, you know, close battle towards the end of the race.
Yeah.
I think these guys have still got, you know, a couple of these guys have still got a bit to do. So it should be exciting.
On the wing with Mark Bean, and looking down the straight there, you can see the indomitable, deep, husky bulldog voice of Pinpoint, and behind him, Tom Weaver. I'm not sure whether Pinpoint's boy's gone to bed yet, but he was on there earlier on. Didn't realise that was his son. Otherwise, I would have very much ensured that he had a bit of an input on what he was seeing of his dad racing out there. He's doing a fine job, mini Pinpoint, mini bulldog. Tom Weaver, though, looking at Pinpoint, having just you know, given that position away to Pinpoint. Pinpoint just looking into Schlossgold, but no. Pinpoint, no. Back to Pinpoint. Come on. So Pinpoint just having an off on Schlossgold, lost 1 position. Is he going to lose another position to Audi? No, sorry, it's a back marker. It's back marker. Fine, calm down. Ambulance for Tiger. Pinpoint, gather yourself. That was only 1 position. You'll get back to Tom. You've got 8 seconds. Keep going. Crikey, holy moly.
Yeah, ambulance o'clock. Ambulance. Yeah, I think, Rigel's in the pits now for his final stops with 18 minutes 40 on the clock to do. So obviously, this is going to be crucial to whether he comes out, you know, in front of Benjamin, you know, with a, you know, a good 2 to 3 seconds advantage over him, so he doesn't give him the DRS.
Yep.
And Rigel's done this. Rigel's done the strategy that I suggested, which was the a 2-stop medium, you know, medium to soft.
Yes.
And obviously, I don't know what's happened to Cos. Cos has been disqualified for ignoring a drive-through penalty.
That is such a shame. He will be kicking himself, as he either probably, you know, undoubtedly he didn't see that. And I was just about to give him some words of encouragement as well, and maybe I brought the commentator's curse on him without even saying anything. That's how powerful this microphone has become, Speed. Good grief. What a shame for Cos. But you know, fear not, old wise one. You'll be back. These 2 guys, you're absolutely right. The fight between 6th and 7th as Seahacks, Tom Weaver takes a look at Mark Bean now into Remus, and takes Mark Bean into Remus. But be careful, Seahacks, because riding with Mr. Bean, he's going to have a look at you coming down into Schlossgold, I'm willing to bet.
Yeah, Beans has got a very trimmed out car from what I saw in practice. So obviously, he doesn't really need the DRS to get past, but he does lack it, you know, in this sector here and the last sector. So he'll be really quick down the start finish straight. Maybe if we stay on board him and just keep an eye on that orange bar at the bottom of the screen, well, that's giving his track speed. And we'll just see that climb up as he gets the DRS, because he's in DRS range. He's moving that second. And you can see, you know, nearly 200 miles an hour before he hit the brakes. Yeah, we'll use it down here, slipstream. Shame they got to slow down there. That could be, you know, a 0.8 slow down that he's got to burn. Yeah.
What a shame. What a shame. Can he burn it on Remus there?
No, he usually stops going down, you know, into the low speed corners. Yeah, it's disappeared now, so I presume that's it done. but he's obviously back, back in the fight. So maybe we'll get it on the next lap. So if we could just go and have a quick glance at someone else.
We'll keep a close eye on him.
He's dropped outside that second gap in front of him, because obviously we've lost the stack up on the overlay. So I think that stack up on the overlay comes on when they're within the second, I think, at the minute. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll get FX to confirm that to us later, and I'll tell you in the next week's stream.
Yes. Sorry, lots of screens open here, lots of things I'm looking at. Can't take it away from this guy here, Rodders. 15 minutes and 19 seconds left. Will he, unlikely that he'll make another pit stop?
No, it's just at the minute he'll just be thinking, have I put enough fuel in? Because he knows he's got the tyres to go to the end. He's thinking, do I need this extra lap? Am I going to do 74? Am I going to do 73? And he'll be like that. And he'll have 2 or 3 laps of thinking about that, because he's got a 15-second gap to Rigel behind him. And obviously he'll work that out, and he'll be thinking, if I'm short, maybe short shifting, lifting, coasting, doing all the usual tricks to save fuel.
Now, somehow, Ben has lost 15 seconds to Rigel. Was that as a result of the pit, do you think?
Yeah, I think Ben went light on fuel, and obviously his 2 pit stops were, really long. Obviously, we don't get that kind of information. I think there's a lot of information gets outputted out of the stream nowadays. It's just that all this stuff that we're using is not being updated. So a bit like the sim racing, the sim racing tool that is up to date. That uses all the the up to date data outputs. I think a lot of the apps currently don't utilize most of it.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them that we don't get the information of the pit time. We get very limited to sector 1 time, sector 2 time, and best lap and last lap, which only updates us as they cross the line. So it's not like it live updates as they go across the line. But hopefully we could maybe persuade the developer of this overlay to put some more stuff into us, or we get his own honcho Guru FX onto it. I know he played around with it the other week for us.
I've just realised that for the last stage of this race, quite a few have gone on to softs, haven't they? Rigel has gone on to softs, Dave Crew has gone on to softs, Mark Bean has gone on to softs, H-Tune, softs, Ricky Richards, softs, and Milan, before he retired, were on to soft. Clearly that's to give them that little bit extra grip in the last sections, or the last sector of the race. But Rodders is still on medium and Ben is still on medium. So do you think that Rigel being on the softs and he's gained 2 seconds on Rodders, do you think that will last for the rest of the race and give him more of an advantage or not?
It's a strategy if I was racing, I would have gone with. Obviously, Rodders pitted at regular intervals, as well as Rigel took. I think he did 3 laps extra in the first stint, which means he did 6 laps extra in the second stint. And I think that puts you into being able to run the soft tyres for the third stint.
Yeah. As you see, Mark retake 6th into Castrol. Sorry, go ahead, Steve. Steve? Who's Steve? Go ahead, Steve.
Okay, Bruce. I'll go right ahead.
Sorry, mate. It's been a long day. Anyway, John, crack on.
Okay, Trevor. Yeah, he just pushes you with that on, and I think 20 laps is the maximum I think you probably could do on softs. Yes, you're going to drop off at the end, but you're on a lighter fuel load because you put in extra at the start, you put in extra in your first pit stop, so you taking away from that crucial one. So all it's led up to at the minute was that last crucial pit stop. You've been in the hunt throughout the race, you're leading to that last crucial pit stop, and that's when all your kittens come to roost, type thing.
Yep, for sure. On the wing with Tom Weaver, looking back to Bean. Tom, that's Seahacks, isn't it?
That certainly is.
Gabsy just told us that Evil's closing on Ben. Yeah, we got that. Gabsy, thank you. We're keeping an eye on the timings. We've got 10 minutes left of the race, and Mr. Bean really is closing up. I would be at all surprised if he got a slowdown penalty on that as he went through Castrol Corner there, but no, he didn't, thankfully. Coming into Remus, how will he look at Remus? No, he just lost gold. I mean,
I think
he's pulling away, isn't he?
Yeah, Bean's got, like I said earlier, he's got his car trimmed to a low downforce set, so he'll struggle through this part of the track now. Tom will pull away, and obviously Mark will get him where to turn at the last corner to the drag to the first corner. On the three main straights on this track. Yeah. Evil's really closed down on Benjamin now.
He has really closed down, and do you know what? And I think that's because Ben's tyres are going off. Looking at his timings, although Ben has put in a 10. His last lap was a 105.635. Evil was half a second quicker. 2 laps ago, Evil was 3.5 seconds behind him. So we're going to stay with Evil. This is where it is right now. 0.28, 2.6, extending away along the main straight. 3.0, 2.6, 2.5, 2.4, 2.2. Will he take him coming to Castle Ridge? Please, no, don't ruin it yet. Whoa, look at that as Evil into 3rd place. Marvellous racing there, all the way down into Remus Corner. That makes an RWB International 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Currently 9 minutes and 11 seconds left. Round Remus Corner down to Schlossgold. Can't take it away from Ben though. He's not going to let Evil take that. Not going to let Evil just, not be challenged. But I really think Ben has got a problem with the car or his tyres, because he just seems to be off pace.
I think Ben, I said it earlier with Milan, is that I think them two are teammates for this season. Obviously, I think they did a good practice on the soft tyres on low fuel, because as soon as they got onto the medium tyre, that their pace has just dropped off. Whereas everyone else that's been on the medium tyres has caught up. As I think that's Audi getting out of the way on the right.
Yep.
That's the way to do it, gentlemen. If you've never seen getting out of the way, to let your faster cars past. Did it quite obviously showed his intent to pull across to the side of the track, slightly lifted, and then obviously allowed these two guys to pass, and he's dropped in behind them. Maybe we can just give a rear view camera. As you can see, he's dropped in behind Benjamin, and go back on board with Benjamin's front wing as he's right up the rear end of Evil. Obviously, a good battle going on here with Beans and Tom as well.
Now, has Bean got him coming into Tom gets out of shape there. I thought he was going to spin across him there, but great racing by Ben and Evil and these two.
Yeah, this is obviously these two battling is helping Pinners out after his mistake earlier on. He's closing down to these two, a couple of, half a second a lap at the minute. As you can see just how much Bean's losing out in this middle sector versus, Tom that's running a, pretty aeroed up car.
Yep.
Maybe this will show us the speed advantage that Mark's got.
Trying to keep that slipstream as he moves over to.
Yeah, maybe Beans should have just gone, maybe a click or more on the aero, to maybe, give him that a little bit more through the middle sector. Maybe he could get into a position to overtake. It just seems that he's losing just that too much on the straights, on the corners. as I say, he's hitting nearly 330 kilometres an hour on the straights, with the RS and slipstream.
Wow. Fantastic racing so far. I think we, with what, 5 minutes and 42 seconds left. Right, speed. Who do you think the racer of the event is?
Oh, this is a tough one to choose from. Can't select all of them.
Yeah,
it's been an absolute pleasure to commentate on tonight. I don't know. Maybe we have a think about it in the last couple of minutes. What's your choice if you've got one? Are you in the same situation?
I'll tell you what my choice is. My choice is this, is that we speak to first, second and third, and then we move ourselves into the main channel, and we tell them all that they were all racers of the event, because they have every single one of them have raced. These are not easy cars to drive. This is not a point and squirt. You've got to be very, very gentle on the throttle, or it's going to snap your arm off and just zip you around backwards. And they've always raced well. I haven't seen any, dodgy racecraft or anything like that. Not that I'd expect that from RWB, but especially from our guests or anything. They've just all done bloody marvellously. I'm just not sure about the administration on how we speak to them all, but
yeah. So that's an excellent idea, and I completely agree with that. So what we'll do is we'll drag the top three down to have a conversation with, as well as Xerax. So we'll get Xerax, sponsor's point of view of the race. And obviously, thank him for being, such a welcome to the RWB community when offering this sponsorship deal for this league. And then what we'll do is jump everyone back into the race channel. And we'll have a talk with them in there, and then we'll end the stream. So just a slight change from what we discussed earlier, but it should all work in the long run.
Yeah, I think it will. So for anyone who's watching the stream either back or now, we'll try and jump in there straight away so that you don't get any bad language or anything, but I can't promise that. Okay, so 3 minutes and 22 seconds left. This is where the main battle is, but just a quick flick rundown. Speed, take control of the camera at any time whilst I'm just doing this quick rundown. We've only got 3 minutes left of the race. Oh, see, we just can't. Look at that, fantastic. As Mark Bean takes Tom Weaver, looking on the wing of Mark Bean. There's C-Hax, is already extended away, 1.1 seconds, coming into Remus. So
he's needed. Wow. Needed that.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Well done, Mr. B. I'm going to do a rundown. Look, Rodders in first position there, 15 seconds away. We've got Rigel, then Evil in 15 seconds behind him. Actually, 1.14 seconds. Ben has had a fantastic race from Cookie Motorsport. Then we've got Ben, as I've just mentioned there. Behind Ben, 13 seconds. Dave Crew, currently running in 5th position. In 6th position, Mark Bean, that we've just seen that wonderful move he just made on Tom Weaver. Tom Weaver racing hard all the time with Mark Bean and others. Pinpoint a solid, beautiful performance by him. Hats off. Justin Madley, crikey, outside of everybody that is racer of the event, he would get my individual vote, but I think the others just pip you. Audi, some wonderful performances from you two. Didn't see much of you in the front quadrants. Be interesting to see what you've got to say about that. But you know what? A commanding performance and steady and, perfectly respectable 10th. FX, I know he will be exceptionally happy with what is now 11th position, sorry. H-Shun, again, great there in the 12th position. Flack, steady and reliable, 13th. Charger, again, had problems with the front wing, but you know what? Carried on. Never give up. It only takes 2 cars for a race, and if I'm not at the front, he says, I don't care. I love racing. Ricky Richard, great to see him back with us from On the Limit Racing, currently 15th. 16th position, Ashley Keane. Shout out to you, Ashley, from Redline Motorsport. Always welcome here, and great to see you from a very well known and very well organised club. Currently in 16th, and finally our sponsor, Zach Etienne, who's an engineer, not a sim racer, who just loves the sim racing community, and so as a result of that has put time and effort and energy. Racing sim tools. You know, if you want the overall package, then you need that. We're going to talk to him later. Back to first position. Over to you, Speed.
Yeah, obviously, I think we're going to get another lap out of this by the looks of it. 30 seconds on the clock, 72 laps. I think he's going to cross the line with, maybe 5-6 seconds left. So it means the race is going to conclude with 73 laps on. So it's been an excellent race from Rodders. Obviously didn't panic at the start when Benjamin and Milan, disappeared at the front. Running his race, not judged himself off everyone else. And it's been an excellent race from Rodders.
And we missed. Sorry. In the closing lap, we got one lap left, and I'm very sorry to cut you off, Speed, but we missed Ben taking Evil. Evil now will be really trying every trick in the book to stay within 1 second of him in the final line to get that DRS. Will he get 0.94, 0.94, 0.95? So he's got DRS speed. So he could have him coming down into Remus.
Yeah, I don't think Evil. I think Evil made a mistake because he was, 2 seconds in front of Benjamin when I recorded that little speech, and I think Evil made a mistake and it's given him, 1.6 deficit to. I think he's out of fuel. I think that's what's happened.
Oh no!
Back on board with Rodders as he's crossing the line to take an excellent win. We got John Haig that's going to finish second. Sorry that we had to cut off from Evil, but we have to give the respects to the
absolutely
Rodders for getting the race, and obviously Rigel doing an excellent recovery to second. Obviously Benjamin did a cracking race at the start, and was getting podium position for his luck. I'm just hopefully that when we flip to Evil, he's still got some pace going and he manages to cross the line. It's a very good. It's a shame that he's running out of fuel. As you can hear it spluttering as he's pulling down live, but he's managed to save it. He's going to get a 4th place. Dave Crew, another cracking race from him. Not really spoke about him tonight. We gave him the odd shout out, but we'll only race in the middle. Beans, we've watched a lot of Beans race with Pinpoint, and who was the other one? I can't remember.
It was Tom Weaver.
Yeah. Tom Weaver, but Tom Weaver's obviously dropped out. He's DNF, so he might run out of fuel as well. So it's all happening at the end, and that's the end of it. Obviously, the timer screen's come up, and it's a very good congratulations to Rodders that takes the win, the fastest lap, with the pole position going to Milan, wasn't it? So that was the race. We'll give the guys 2 to 3 minutes to or maybe longer to gain the composure, and we'll get them down for a speak. Obviously, we'll speak to Zach as well, and then we'll do his jumping up and we'll congratulate them all, saying that they're all the man of the meeting tonight. So I'll hand it over to Ty, because no doubt he's got something to say.
Whoa, crikey, holy moly. I'm lost for words. That was one of the best sim racing events I've ever seen. Absolutely fantastic. That was the opener, and as I said, a lot of time and energy and effort has gone into by every single body to be able to race like that today. And there was some close racing throughout the whole of the field, side by side action, backwards and forwards. And if you jump into one of these.
Where you gone?
Oh, am I still there?
Yeah, now.
Yeah. What was the last thing I said?
I don't know. I wasn't listening to you.
I think I'm pressing so hard on my keyboard, my push to talk button is broken. Wait, let me change it.
Yeah, so just a word from me whilst he sorts himself out. Yeah, that was an absolute cracking race to spectate and commentate on. I look forward to the remaining 11 races. I think we all deserve to give FX a pat on the back for his contribution he makes to the club. You know, with doing the admin side for the league and obviously the camera control and all that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Absolutely. I was saying it was one of the best races I've ever seen in sim racing. And every single one of them has put blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of tears, and a lot of energy and effort and real-time commitment into be able to providing that performance that every single person out there provided tonight. I'm probably being a little bit more emotional than some of these guys are, but I'm willing to bet that Rodders is exceptionally pleased with his win. Rigel exceptionally pleased with his second place, and Ben relieved that he managed to just to pip Evil, and Evil, of course, mortified that his third position is gone. Absolutely fantastic racing. Okay, so crikey, my where's someone my someone changed my someone changed my
Brain.
someone changed my brain right now. See, these guys are ready to talk to me right now. I'm not ready to receive them. Listen, we have now got first, second, and third place with us. Just before these gentlemen joined joined the channel and caught me out slightly, I was explaining to everybody watching the stream, and indeed for historical purposes on our YouTube channel, what a wonderful, fantastic race that was. Rodders, first position. I'm gonna ask you to talk to us about two things. One, were you worried at the beginning because you weren't where you thought you were being placed in qualifying? And secondly, your tyre strategy. Were you confident in your race pace being, fast over your qualifying pace in order to give you that sort of, lead in the actual race, combined with your tyre strategy?
I mean, the quality laps that get put in were excellent. So I was thinking, geez, this is going to be one hell of a race. I got a fantastic start, but then I don't know who it was. Somebody shunted me in the first corner, and then I think I had almost went into the barrier on the fourth corner. And from there, I just get my head down, and I quickly realised people that I was expecting to be hard to catch, especially Milan, because he was flying. I was catching them quickly. I found out Milan started with a full tank, so that's and it's not a dig at you, Milan, if you're listening, but it's a great example of. I think he done super fast quality laps because I think he only really got his head together today for it. He obviously didn't have any race practice, and I've said before it's 95% race practice, 5% quality, and it's I was really comfy with the car the whole time. It just felt solid. So Ben was quick. I wonder what was going to happen with him, but I don't know if his tyres went off. And after the pit stop, I'd managed to keep ahead. And I just drove. Honestly, I had salt water coming into my eyes in my VR headset. About 20 laps to go, and I just had to keep blinking. Just keep going.
Yeah, we did picture you naked in your in your suit kit with a VR headset on and a Camelback on. It was just a wonderful commanding performance, and it was very clear that you had put some real life time and energy and effort into making sure that your race pace, in accordance with your race setup and fuel and tyres, was consistent, and it pretty much was. You were pulling 105, 105 mediums all the way through, and that's to your credit. Absolutely marvellous.
Yeah, a wee tip for everyone. The last hour of my practice, all I did was go out quality race, so that I was comfy between the transition between the two tyres. Because if you don't do that in these, when you go in your race spec, you at least you can be 2, 3, 4 laps. You're just not on the ball because your head's still adjusting to the car, and it's such a different handling beast, different tyres, fuel load especially. And that paid dividends. So I'd recommend MD that it's a really good final practice. Is just practice switching between your quality and your race setup.
It's a very good tip. You heard it here first, so take that on. Speed, have you got anything for Rodders before I talk to Ride?
No. We'll keep it short and sweet tonight.
You know, Rodders, seriously, and you know, don't take that as anything other than, you know, it was just a fantastic performance. Really, really, very, very well done, and very many congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Over to Rigel. Rigel, a fantastic performance by you as well. Excuse me. I'd like to ask you about one thing. Were you a little bit worried when Pinpoint come out of the pits then?
I was a bit worried when everybody came out of the pits, to be honest. I think he was up behind Charger as well, and they were faffing around, and I did put a shout out, come on guys, get out of the way. But no, they're just oblivious, and I had to make my way past anyway.
Yeah, it was really great at the beginning there. You had to charge your way through the field, and you know, we were watching very closely the sort of change in positions between the pit strategies, and obviously securing third position. You must be very happy with that, the first race.
Yeah, I went a bit longer on my two medium stints. Didn't really have the pace on Rodders, and I suspected I would. But I did see that he'd got punted off or whatever, so I thought, well, that might stand me in good stead. If I can stay ahead of him for a bit at least, then hopefully the gap towards the end won't be too big. Because my plan was in the last stint was to chase off and hunt him down, which I sort of did, and I chipped away a couple of seconds, but then I just came across traffic, the likes of Pinpoint and whatever, and it slipped away, and his tyres didn't seem to drop off either, so that was that. So I was just settled back. It was a good fight with Ben. I don't know if you caught a lot of that.
Absolutely, yep.
Well, that was a DRS fight, really. It probably helped me out because I think my pace was a little bit off his. But we were just kept swapping positions with DRS and defending, and I was saving the DRS for the final straight to catch up and get DRS again, and that was good fun. That was.
Well, very well done to you, Rigel. A very well earned second position, and yeah, congratulations. Speed, anything for Rigel?
Yeah, that was an impressive race, mate. Obviously, like you said, it was a DRS battle. You could see it being in, and I think towards the end, I think Ben got a slow down that gave you that break, just before the pit stops. And obviously, that was a crack.
I think something must have gone on at the pit stop as well, because after the second pit stop, he was like 14, 15 seconds behind. I had run about 4 or 5 laps longer, but I was expecting to be there or thereabouts by the time I came out and back to the back.
Well, Rigel, it was a great piece of racing. It really was. But you know, as you said earlier on, you were under a great deal of pressure from Ben quite a few times, and for quite a while during that race. And actually, Ben had his own little battles with quite a few people. No, particularly with Evil. Ben, you secured third position. Very many congratulations to you. As you heard Rigel say, they had a great battle with him, and you also had a great battle with Evil. I'm assuming that you were slightly glad on the second to last lap that you managed just to pit on the last, second to last lap. You just managed to pip Evil. What's over to you? You know, you have stage. What's your perception of the racing that you've experienced and witnessed tonight? Clearly, you're from, I think it's Cookie Motorsport, but yeah.
Yeah, it's Cookie Motorsport. I had a lot of fun. Really, a lot of fun with the fights with Rigel, and last fight was
Yeah, Ben. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Now, I'll be honest with you. Undoubtedly, whether you watch the stream back this evening, which is a sort of RWB tradition, or whether you watch that at some other time, you will probably hear me asking for an ambulance as my heart was coming out my chest when I thought that we were going to see an RWB 1, 2, and 3. But of course that didn't happen. But of course that's not taking anything away from you. It was a commanding performance, and you know, I have no doubts whatsoever that Evil and Rigel, as you've already heard Rigel say, had a fantastic battle with you, and always great to have someone so talented like you on their rear wing. Slightly worrying for them. But of course it pushes them, and of course in pushing them it gives them that little bit more experience. So very many congratulations, well done, and I very much look forward to seeing how you do it at Paul Ricard, and I hope you join us for the rest of the league. Speed, over to you.
Yeah, that was a cracking show from you tonight, Benjamin. Obviously, you had a great battle with Rigel, Rodders, and evil. So many congrats to you and welcome to the racing in RWB.
Yes, thank you.
And finally, I'm going to hand over the reins to maybe introduce, so I introduce the introducer to our sponsor of the event. You earlier mentioned it earlier on this evening. Fantastic. An engineer who likes the sim race, who loves the sim community so much that he now lives in a shed because he sold his house and everything that he owns in order to bring you that fantastic app, Racing Sim Tools. So, Speed, why don't you have a chat with Xerax and use this opportunity to, as we should do, give this man this opportunity to talk to us about a great tool that everyone should have in their race sim armory.
Yeah, are you there, mate? Just before
I am. I'm still laughing from that intro.
Yeah, just like you said, we'll give you talk to you through the stream. So let's just have a few words from you about your tool, about yourself, and the future plans. It's your floor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks, Speed and Tiger. Basically, my name is Xerax. I run RacingSimTools.com, and we love what RWB has been doing here with this league. We've been following the league for about 2 years now, and we wanted to be an official sponsor for the league. So we make a tool called Racing Sim Tool Software. It's essentially a software that's like Motec, but it's configured and specifically designed for sim racers. A lot of sim racers, they don't want to learn about all the engineering formulas, all the math behind everything. So we try to take away that aspect of it and then just show the users how to use the tool. So we walk people through how to interpret the graphs, how to gain setup insight from that, and then help you get the most performance out of your car using the data you get from the game itself.
Fantastic. And Xerax, how long has this been in creation, development, and onward growth?
Yeah, great question. So we actually started Racing Sim Tools as a company with Project Cars 2. We actually started a tool called PC2 Tuner, and it actually got a lot of traction. I think we had over 5,000 users before we decided to retire that tool. So we decided to build something up from the ground up, knowing how powerful something like this could be. So we spent about a year with me and 2 other developers, just completely redoing the tool, building it up from the ground up to what it is today. And it's been out for about 3 or 4 months. We support games like Project Cars 2, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Raceroom now, iRacing, and we're going to be supporting AMS2 when it comes out. But our plans is to continue to develop this tool. This is going to be the tool moving forward. So we really want to include more updates. We're trying to include some aspects of artificial intelligence to help people set up cars. So a lot of really cool things to come out. So definitely something to follow.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for sponsoring this event. And I know that everybody is using it, and it's one of those apps where you fire it up and you go, crikey, and it really does open up your eyes to understanding, as you say, what is happening with the car in order that you can refine your own setups and enjoy sim racing that much more. And that's only as a result of your application. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Not at all. You're very welcome. And we look forward, obviously, perhaps seeing you in the rest of the league. Speed and FX. I believe FX is in the channel now. We're going to do an open chat now. The open chat is the racer of the event this evening was everybody. So how do we now go through the admin for making sure that they're aware of that?
Well, I've told Gabsy to tell them. Whether he's told them or not, I don't know. But I'm going to move you and the Discord channel really quickly. So get ready, and I'll join in 2 seconds after to see the after effects. So you're ready? We're ready for this.
Yeah. Now, earlier on, folks, I said I can't be sure that you won't hear the odd swear word, so I'll try and get in there really, really quickly. But if you do,
so
then
here we go. Here we go.
Gentlemen, if I may, at this precise moment in time, you're all live on the stream, so if you would please kindly refrain from saying any sort of swear words, although, you know, if it slips out, it slips out. I've already given a warning that it may well do. I just wanted to talk to you all at this stage because every race, as you know, we vote in a racer of the event. This time, quite uniquely, you've all been voted in as racers of the event. So give yourself a big pat on the back.
Well done, guys.
Very, very well done. And no, seriously, and I don't want to get too sort of, you know, sycophantic about it or anything like that, or any sort of hyperbole. Today I was at Castle Donington and I was watching fantastic racing. I watched the BMWs, the Kumo BMWs, the Boss cars, the Clio Cup, the race car. Absolutely fantastic. It wasn't until the Group 1s came out that I had this huge lump in my throat of, you know, love and tradition and nostalgia of seeing Escorts, Lotus Cortinas and everything else going around. Absolutely balls to the wall. I had the same sort of feeling tonight when I was watching every single one of you. I'm fairly new to RWB, only 4 months. I can't tell you how sort of proud I was to watch the racecraft and the racing that was going on tonight. It was quite extraordinary. And I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed watching it, as I know you will do when you watch it. And as I know anyone else will do historically watches it on our YouTube channel. So very well done to everybody. It was a fantastic event. It doesn't matter whether you came first or whether you came 16th. It only takes 2 cars to have a race. And we both, Speed and I and Gabsy, saw that from everyone tonight. So very well done. Opening the stage, does anyone want to say anything?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. Out of 19 starters, 16 finished, and I think Tom Weaver nearly made it as well at 71 laps. So, yeah, well done everybody for that.
I'd have made it if I hadn't got disqualified.
Indeed, and I'll just say bad luck to the couple of folk who unfortunately dropped out before the race. I think Rigel's or Audi's tip to, if you're doing a long practice session, just give your game a quick restart before quali. Hopefully minimise that happening again, because that was a real shame for Luca and Fergie, who put a lot of practice in.
80 minutes, guys, is a long time. Was that a hard time to race and keep your concentration? Did any of you feel that you were fading out towards the end?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm exhausted.
I'm 69 now.
I almost had.
I've got blisters on me blisters.
Well, for me, the race flew like without a fighting with Rachel and Nico was great.
I don't know if anybody else got this. It's wearing a VR headset. I got a single drop of tickly sweat at one point, and I couldn't do anything about it. It was just like, resist.
Oh, you're up there with the you're up there with the thingies now, runners. When they do their spacewalk, they got tears in their eyes and all.
No, thanks to everyone that made it. Cracking turnout, and we're on to Paul Ricard next week, which I know is
absolutely are. Yeah. Well, look, guys, I know you're on a bit of a break now, and I expect some of you will hang around to watch the stream afterwards in the traditional metaphoric RWB cinema, which is infamous now after league events. So I'm going to take this opportunity to ask you just to let me close the stream down. We'll stay in the channel. We've got all the things here. So there you go, ladies and gents. That was the race put on by RWB International, prepared by Rodders, one of our head honcho and our sponsor of the event, and of course administrated in the background by the ever indomitable and talented FX. So that was our first race, Red Bull. Second one next week is at Paul Ricard, and then we've got loads of other exciting things for you. We've got Imola, Shanghai, Silverstone, Mid-Ohio, Hungaroring. It goes on. If it's a track out there and you want to see an F1 car on it, we've got it on our league. Go along to our website if you want to find out more about RWB International. That's World Wide Web, rwbracing.club. You'll find all the information there. And of course, you can come onto our Discord. If you see anyone with an RWB tag, they'll always point you in the right direction. You don't have to be an RWB member to race with us. If you want to engage in any of our racing throughout the week, then all you've got to do is turn up. And the best time to do that, to be frank, is on a Thursday night. One track, one car, 5 tracks, and you'll always have some fun. I can guarantee you that. So I'm going to close down the stream now. Thank you very much for joining us. He's been Speed.
He's been Tiger.
I know it's cheesy. I know it's cheesy, but I just love that ending. Listen, guys, thanks very much. It's been wonderful to watch everyone race. I'm sure you'll say all goodbye to everyone as we fade out. But thanks to you for joining us as well. Remember, don't race alone. Race RWB. Take care now. Bye.